Hi, I'm Phil,
And I'm Travis.
and welcome to the very first G15 podcast. Now, Travis and I are usually just going to be by ourselves, but since this is our first show, we're going to have two very special guests on from the squad at my school. We got Tyler and Patrick, and they're going to join us right now. Okay, so what we've each done is we put a topic of conversation in a box behind us. It's a mystery box. We don't know what each other's topics are, and we're going to draw them at random and just see where it goes. And, this is not sponsored by County Bank, even though the box says that. I don't even know what that is. Uncle Billy gave it to me. Just gonna pick this boy and see what happens. Okay. First topic is ghetto places you visited.
Alright, so listen, I gotta justify what I wrote first, alright?
Okay.
So, Tyler can attest, I told him about it already, but, I was, today we were going to the soup kitchen, right?
Yeah.
And I was driving down, one of these back roads, and I was like, okay, if I go straight, I can make it to the soup kitchen. But out of nowhere, this group of people just walk out onto the road. And they just spread out across the entire road. And, they have brown paper bags. And they're, reaching in. I'm like, what do I do? I'm not going down that road anymore. So I just figured, why don't we talk about ghetto places we visited? Because that situation was just pretty ghetto. So, Hawaii is, really ghetto. Is that something I'm allowed to say? Is that kind of throwing shade at, state? Okay. So... I don't know if people know this, right? But, Hawaii has a lot of problems with crime. Oh. And, when I was there, it was actually really scary. Because, my sister used to go to college there. And, I remember, one night we were walking from our hotel room to, get ice cream or something. That boy, it was not safe. It was, there was, fields of grass on the side of the sidewalk. And it was just pitch black. And, there was, homeless people everywhere. It was scary, dude. I thought I was actually gonna die at some point. Yeah, that's the story.
Alright. Well, the most ghetto place I ever visited, I wish I knew the name of it. But then again, I don't want the people from that place to come kill me anyway. So, my dad, who we only refer to as Axeman now, he took me geocaching to some place. And the entire place looked like a Fallout situation. I don't know what was happening there. I guess they just halfway build their buildings and then stop and give up. And we had to go to some hot dog place. And all the people there, they just never spoke. All they did was stare out the windows. And I was like, this is pretty creepy. How are we supposed to find this geocache if everyone's just staring at us? And this grandma looks like she wants to kill us. And I saw infinite old ladies there, all of which wanted to kill us. So, I wish I knew the name of the place, but it was cancerous. I don't want to go back there.
Have you considered that maybe it was a nursing home for possessed grandmas?
the entire town?
Yes. It's have you Batman, right? The games, there was one where they build a wall around Arkham City or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's like that situation, except for old ladies that are possessed.
Oh, but they let the public in?
Yeah. They have to offer sacrifices every now and then.
Oh,
that under the guise of geocaching.
We were lucky to get on alive. These filthy geocachers, they gotta die.
Oh, well, this one place, I'm just gonna call it the town.
The town.
Because, that's kind of what it is. Okay, so, you're just driving, because, there's a shortcut. If you want to get to the other side of this town, you gotta go through this super ghetto place.
Oh.
It's if you were to drive on any back street in a town, you're gonna find this place. So there's, all these white houses, and they're all, really close together. And you're like, okay, well, I know I'm in a bad place, because they're all close together. So you're just driving through there, and there's these people. It's night. You got your headlights on. There's these people walking in the middle of the road, wearing nothing but black stuff. Are you wanting to die?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just driving. They're walking in the road, wearing completely black things, and I just come up on them, and I'm like, "What is this in the road?" And so I have to swerve off the side of the road because these people are stupid. They don't want to move. So I guess they want to get run over. And then when I swerve around, I'm like, hey, watch where you going. And I'm just like, why don't you wear something besides black?
Yeah. Why is that such a common theme? You always see people walking at night in all black.
Yeah,
they never wear.
What purpose does that serve?
Yeah. Well, time to be invisible.
Yeah, see, exactly.
In the street.
That also gives another thing. They wear that stuff. You're like, okay, are these people trying to break into someone's house or something?
Yeah. Try to break into the manhole or something. Why are they in the road?
Why are they breaking into a manhole? You have to break into a manhole. I thought you could just pick it up.
That reminds me a lot of those people that we saw when we were trying to go to the movies that one time.
Oh
my
my
goodness.
god.
Oh no.
We can't talk about that on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Now I want to
Well,
use it.
Oh,
You can use
yeah.
it with the squeaker.
Squeaker.
Yeah, the squeaker. Because there was all these people just walking in a group outside of a mall, and they were just like yelling. They had no car in the mall, and we were like, "What are you guys doing?" And someone dared Patrick to yell at him, and he did. They looked like they were gonna try to jump us. So
Listen,
we had to book it.
I was justified, all right, because I
Okay.
said hey, and they were like, "Man, I don't even remember what they said."
Oh
I know
yeah,
there was a lot of
we
curse
just said
words
hey
in it.
at first.
Yeah, and they were like super like freaking edgelord about it. And I was like, "Come on, man! Like I just said hi." And then we drove back around, and then we saw him again. And Ernie was like, "Yo, I bet you won't say something." So I said something, and they chased after us.
Like I thought, I was afraid to go to the movies. I thought once we got to the movies, they were just gonna bust up and start shooting
They
up
were
the
at
place.
the movies. They were. I made eye contact with one of them. I just looked away like, "Oh boy."
I
It's
thought
over.
it was over. I thought that was the end of our lives right there.
Okay.
I just looked at the ground.
So
and,
were
like,
you
saw
guys
it.
like driving or were you guys walking?
No, we were driving.
So
yeah.
they were gonna chase you, like
Yes.
they could.
Yeah, they
chase
were
They
running
were in
after
front
the
of
car.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were running at the car. So
Yeah,
like,
just run through them.
We,
Yeah.
yeah, but we were wondering why they weren't driving. Like, why is this giant conglomeration of people just wandering the mall parking lot, yelling at each other?
Mall's already closed.
yeah, it
so-
wasn't
Yeah.
even like close to the mall parking lot. It was like pretty
It was
far
off.
out.
Yeah, it was
Right,
like
it
it was like the road between multiple parking lots.
Yeah.
where nothing's at.
It's
Yeah.
like a horde of zombies. Just
Yeah,
walking
exactly.
around.
It really
much.
was.
They're just as angry as zombies when you approach them too. You just
Yeah.
like, oh hey zombies, run! Get out of here, run away. Do you have any more ghetto stories? You
Oh,
wanna move
yes.
on? Oh, you do?
Oh yes. I'm pretty sure people know this place very well, or at least heard of it. If you haven't been there, I don't know why.
Henry.
Okay, that's pretty ghetto.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm going somewhere different where it's,
Oh.
it's almost everywhere.
Okay.
It's a Walmart.
Oh,
You're
oh
going
yes.
there. There's all kinds of people in there.
Oh gosh.
You got these people, like, if you're just going through a hallway at school or college or doctor's office or Walmart, and they're just
Yeah.
blocking the whole place. You can't go around them.
I always say Walmart's my go-to place if I just am like, wow, I'm having a really good day. I want to ruin it somehow. That's the way I'm going to do it. I go to Walmart because every time I go there, I get in a bad mood. There's always either a mom who's just like, their kid is going, Mom, can I have that? And they're like, no, shut up. God. And I'm like, whoa, calm down. Why do you hate your kid so much? Or there's always the people, like you said, who are blocking the place.
And you can't go around them because if you do, you might get stabbed.
The worst time is at Halloween, because if you go in at Halloween to the part where they have all the costumes,
Oh,
like
no.
I walked in there, I think it was just last year, to try to get some prop for one of our skit videos, and these dudes, they walk in. It's a whole family with coffees. They all somehow managed to spill their coffee. Every single one of them.
Oh no!
So they had to summon like half the Walmart staff to clean up this massive.
I like how you use the word summon.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to conjure the staff.
Oh, Walmart people, they're bad.
It's like a diamond in the rough though, right? Because like in the back corner, usually they have like a markdown rack of like bread, and I love bread. So like it's kind of like a trial to get to the bread, you know? Like I have to
Yeah.
go through the crying children. I have to go past like the old people that are just judging you, and like all the racist people. It's like it's kind of fun in a way, you know? And like you get to see so many funny things happen too. Like people are just memeing around, like throwing milk on the floor, sliding on it.
I think you can have fun at
Seen that.
I think you can have fun at Walmart if you just don't have a mission. Like if you go in looking for a product that you really want and that's your only goal,
You won't
you're not
find
gonna
it.
have fun
Yeah.
because all these dudes gonna be getting in your way. But if you walk in like, I just want to see some randos, you're gonna have a good time. You see a lot of randos there.
The way I see it, it's like Target if you want something,
Yeah.
Walmart if you want to just watch people just be
Mhm.
bad.
Exactly.
You go to Walmart just to see all the different people, and you know sometimes you get into a really bad situation where all the rando people are natural enemies, and I don't know why they come to this place. They know this other person's gonna be here. They're natural enemies, so they just start fighting in the middle of like the silverware knives section.
The silverware knives is like these people go like, hey man, I hate you too. Hey, let's meet up at the silverware section of the Walmart, 5 o'clock. all right. It's like, what?
I thought it'd be more like one of them just kind of lives there, and the other one
Yeah.
walks up on their turf and is like, "What are you doing here, man? I told you I own the silverware."
I'm taking over your section of off-brand cutlery.
The
got
lotion
that.
section ain't doing it anymore. I
Yeah.
gotta expand my territory.
Exactly.
These old plastic bowls.
That was a good pun.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, and there's always people outside the Walmart too. Every time I try to enter a Walmart, there's a person blocking the doorway, angrily yelling at someone on their phone. It's like, why did you choose this place in public where everyone's going to start yelling at someone?
Yo, that seems like a recurring thing though. Anywhere in public, like
Yeah.
I remember last year when we had like that AP environmental study thing. After everyone else left, and I was still there for some reason. This like old lady came over, and she had no reason to be there. She just opened up her phone as soon as she sat down and started talking about like divorces and like abuse and stuff. I'm like, why did you come out in the public to talk about this? Like, no,
Yes.
like, why?
Sounds like the kind of thing you hide in your basement for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was really interesting though. I had a good time listening. It was like a soap opera in real life, really. So, yeah.
We started talking about ghetto places, but I'm surprised we never even like talked about the school we go to.
Wait, is that something we should censor?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the name of the school.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
the school we go to.
Like the lead pipes makes your stomach hurt when you drink it. Like
Oh yeah, element
There's
water.
something in the water.
the drama that's always present. Like there was that one time when that guy who was dating this girl, they were at lunch together, and then this other guy he thought was hitting on her, but it was the wrong dude. And he tried to fight him, and he like picked up the chair and was gonna throw it, I guess, but he just like dropped it,
Oh.
and then he just completely failed. It was so bad. Like our school is just
That's
so
great,
bad.
dude. That is actually great.
Oh, what about this one time? This guy, they were fighting. And this dude, like, speared this man, and they went flying over, like, the lunch table.
Speared him.
Like, just...
Oh,
dude,
oh.
Like,
Okay.
full
That's
out
crazy.
just tackled somebody, and this guy went, like, flying. They went flying over the lunch table. You know how when you're watching these action movies, where, you know, like, someone comes in with, like, a Tommy gun, you have to jump over the bar counter and stuff? Well, that's basically what happened.
Yeah.
What the heck?
And there's always some people who you can tell. I think at every school you go to, it's not just specific to ours, who is clearly on some drugs. Because it's like, there's this one guy at our school who, of course, we won't mention, but my friend Ernie was talking to him one time in a class, and then he just randomly told him, he wasn't even having a conversation with him, he just walked up and said, Ernie, watch for the people, man. And Ernie's like, who? He's like, the people. He's like, wait, where are they coming from? Who are these people? He's like, you just gotta watch for those people, man. It's like, what? Okay, I'll do that. And then he just sat back down. He's like, good, they can't find me. And he sat down. I was like, who are these people? What's going on?
It's like that time. What's his name? I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just gonna call him M. He was doing drugs in the locker room, right? Just in the locker room, and then he thinks he hears somebody come in, and he just throws it in the trash and doesn't go back to clear it up later. So eventually, of course, they find out, and they find out it's him. He gets kicked out of the school, but because of that, he starts up a YouTube channel, and he gets like $10,000 flat out from this like creator studio or something like that, and they give him screen time and stuff. It's the worst set of events that happened for him. Actually, ended up being the best. It was so bad.
I want to know who that is after like the podcast.
Okay.
I'm curious now.
Oh, man.
We've totally just went off
Yeah.
on like 20
But that's-
different subjects.
But that's great. That's what... These topics are not meant to just stick with that. It's meant to just be a basis for conversation. So,
I could bring
It
it
works.
back to the topic if you want.
sure.
Because I noticed something, right? No one ever wants to visit a ghetto place, right? Like every story we talked about, it was like, I was trying to get here and I got here and I don't know how. I just wonder like if there's someone out there that actually like actively searches for like places that are super dangerous just to go there and watch like people be crazy.
Oh, there definitely is. There's always people looking for danger.
Yeah, that's true.
Henry Danger.
Not...
Go to this gas station. Okay, you're at the McDonald's, and you're like, okay, I need to get some gas, and it's the only gas station in this area. And you're just coming out of the McDonald's parking lot because you're like, I want some ice cream. So you got some ice cream. And you're like, I need some gas. And you're like, I'm not stopping at this gas station. It looks sketchy. So you just keep going, and you got to go like 2 miles down the road before you even see a gas station. Just to find out, it's just as sketchy. So you're like, is this whole town sketchy?
The answer is usually yes.
Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you remember that gas station we went to? We were geocaching once. It was the one with where the guy said, if you guys mess with this town while you're geocaching, we got boots on the ground. And we went to this gas station afterwards. It was the only gas station for like miles, and it was the only thing in the area too. All the grass around it dead. It's just dead land. And the entire time we were sitting in the car waiting for Axeman, because we didn't know when that man was coming back. We just hear some lady just cussing out everybody around. She was so mad. I was like, what are you mad about? I hope she's not a geocacher. She's giving us a bad name. Go to geocaching.com. Yeah, that's why.
What does
not
boots
a sponsor,
on the
by the
ground
way.
mean? Yeah, what is like?
It means like they got all these like men just scattered around the town waiting for someone to like
do something.
Yeah,
Are
they're
they,
like
anti-geocachers or something.
no, it's not the anti-geocachers. They are geocachers, but if they see geocachers messing with the natural landscape or their buildings, they just come in there and I don't know. I guess they
They got boots on the ground.
They got boots on the ground.
Boots on the
We
ground.
repeated that all day after that. We were like, hey, can we go to this road to get a geocache? I was like, wait. You gotta watch out for those boots on the ground. They might not like that.
I like Rando so much. It's so great.
Mhm.
Like today, Tyler can attest to this. There's like some dude riding around on a bicycle.
Oh, that guy
And,
was awesome.
Yo, like every time I see him in Woodruff, I walk by and I'm like, yo, and he'd be like, woo woo, on his
Yeah,
bicycle and just
Ernie's
go
telling me about this, man. How have I never seen him?
Yeah, dude, if
We
go,
passed
like,
this twice.
Yeah, we saw him when we were hanging out like at a car behind Humble Grounds, and then we literally crossed the street, went to Rite Aid, and he just comes like out of nowhere. It's good. Yeah,
I love that.
man.
He was great.
We got a lot of those people.
Mm-hmm.
My town area. A lot of those people. There's a lot of those. Woo woo. Where they're just like high walking down the street, and you don't even look at them, and they're just like, I don't know you.
Yeah, maybe they're related to that dude when it was night and we were in my backyard and we went up to the back fence and I just jokingly said, hey JoJo, and then we hear that guy.
That's
I'm like,
scary.
whoa, what's going on here?
I would have ran. Well,
Oh,
I
we
think,
did.
Yeah, you
We
did
booked
right.
it.
Like he was like right on the other side of the fence. He was like,
This man was hiding, I don't know how.
What? That's really like this. Where did this happen?
Back behind my fence at night. He was just back there. We hear this.
I
There's
would
no
call
one
the
else.
police. That's scary.
Because it was like way before that happened years ago. We went back behind the fence.
Oh yeah. that
And
was
we
super
searched.
creepy.
We found just an empty like, I don't even know what you call it. Just like a. No, I don't know. But it's just this open place where somehow no foliage is growing.
And there's just a chair.
Yeah, a
sitting
lone chair. Someone's obviously hanging out there.
Yeah, you got like some homeless people living.
That's
in your
some
backyard.
ritual going on.
Yeah.
Why does it know your ass
there. And
going?
it's just like that one guy that was like, I guess it could be the same guy. Like
Yeah.
one time we were talking about JoJo back there, and he was like, wee.
Yeah,
Like,
and
really
then
close.
we just were thinking it was some random guy off in the distance just having some fun, so we repeated it. We were just like, wee, just trying to be funny.
And it was
Then
like
it happened
20 times
again. He
closer.
responded to us closer.
What the heck?
So we're dumb, so we did it again.
Oh,
and it got
was,
closer.
Like, really close.
Okay,
It
that's
was like-
scary. He
So
was
then
like-
we went inside and we were out of
It
there.
was like some echolocation stuff. Marco Polo.
Yeah,
He's
he
trying
was
to find
finding
you
you.
guys. It's like, wee.
He's like, I wonder how I can lure some kids. And we were stupid enough to fall for it. Then I think we got paranoid because we looked outside and I thought I saw him in a bush. I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Bush
But I told
Captain.
you, I was like, wait, is he in a bush? And
Bush
you looked
man.
out there and you were like, oh, you just made some face. And then I think we just went upstairs and hid. I don't know.
Were you the person that found like drugs in like a jar or whatever?
Yeah. Also geocaching. Geocaching takes you to some great places and some ghetto places.
That's some adventure stuff.
Yeah,
right
that was a
there.
great time. That was even more ghetto than anything else I described because not only did we find like a whole Contigo full of meth that we had to turn into the cops, but we were cleaning up trash walking down the road, and a grandma with a dog that I'm sure is like suicidal at this point. It's trying to get away. The grandma tells us, she's like, have you guys seen any weed around here? And we're like,
I remember this.
yeah,
Oh
we're
my
like,
gosh.
no. And she's like, well, if you see my weed, let me know. And then she walks off. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like a Skyrim choice, right? It's like we find the weed, give it back to the grandma, or report it to the police. You know.
Yeah.
Or just leave it there.
Yeah, or just leave it there.
But whoever hid the meth, they're like bum at hiding stuff because it was just sitting on top of some leaves. in like a clearing behind some trees.
I
It was
guarantee
not
it was
well
the grandma.
hidden.
I guarantee it was the grandma.
Yeah, she just
Somehow
forgot what
confused
she
it.
forgot what weed was. She thought it was meth.
Honest mistake. I mean,
Mm.
Yeah.